So how difficult is the new PMP exam? Let's be honest here. If you don't study the right way for your PMP exam, it's going to be difficult to pass on your first try. And today, I'm giving you my most brutally honest advice based on my own experience, having struggled for weeks and finally passing my PMP exam above target in all domains. To get our conversation started, join me and the others in our community and drop me a comment down below. How would your life change if you became certified as a PMP? What's your biggest motivation and why do you want to pass this exam? I genuinely would love to hear from you because our community is on this journey together. Please share your thoughts down below so we can motivate each other and become certified project managers. Now, the first big mistake that you can make, which influences how hard your PMP exam will be, is whether or not you're actually practicing questions and exam simulators the right way. What I mean by this is, after you solve each question, right, and you find out what the answer is, are you going back to understand why you answered that question correctly or incorrectly? And I mean literally going through and analyzing all the answer choices, choice A, B, C, and D, and making sure that you understand why each one is correct or incorrect. You know, I get a ton of messages from people telling me that they're failing their practice quizzes, their exam simulators, and they're just not quite sure what to do next. Have you ever seen the movie series called Rocky, played by Sylvester Stallone? One of my all-time favorite motivational movies. There's always a training montage where Rocky is boxing in the ring, right? He's doing a one-handed push-up and he's running up the flight of stairs. And he does this day in and day out, practicing and tweaking his performance so that he could be even better the next day. He doesn't just quit and give up if he's tired or feeling stressed out. He just keeps pushing forward. In the movie Rocky Balboa, he says this: "It ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward." For me, when I was studying for my PMP exam, I used Pocket Prep to practice questions. You can check out all the resources that I recommend in the description bar down below. Now, I use Pocket Prep every single night, and I approach it very strategically. Based on PMI's exam content outline, 50% of your exam covers the agile and hybrid approach. So what I would do is I would build my own quiz in Pocket Prep and solve at least 20 questions every night. It didn't matter if I kept failing or scoring below 40%. I just kept pushing myself, analyzing why did I keep answering those questions incorrectly? And that built up my knowledge and my habit. It gave me that confidence so I could answer literally any situational question, regardless if it was agile, predictive, or hybrid. By the way, if you want to learn my own problem-solving strategy so you can answer any situational based question the fast and easy way, then make sure you sign up to my free PMP course at alvinthepm.com/bootcamp. Now, the second mistake that you need to avoid is not mastering the principles behind what I call an ideal project manager. The majority of questions that you're going to see on your exam will not test you on the direct knowledge on certain facts. It's not going to be literally recite and regurgitate all the information that you studied from your exam prep book. And that should influence how you approach your studying. Instead, what you're going to see is a majority of situational based questions where you're going to be asked, as a project manager, what should you do next? Or what should you do first as a project manager? And you'll have to put on your thinking cap and immerse yourself into the exact situation that's presented in the question. For example, let's say the question is about an agile project where you're leading a software team to develop a new e-commerce app. In the past iteration, the team was not able to meet the requirements of what the customer is looking for. Your team is in sprint planning, and you'd like to prevent this issue from delaying the launch of the alpha release in 4 weeks. What should you do as the Agile project manager? And you might see some answer choices like the following. Choice A, have the team members start pair programming with each other. Choice B, remove user stories from the upcoming sprint. Choice C, collaborate with the product owner to ensure that the team understands the definition of done. Or choice D, have the team perform exploratory testing to mitigate risks. What do you think the correct answer is to this question? And why do you think that's the answer? Leave your answer in the comments down below, as well as your thinking behind it. And hopefully what you'll see in the comments section below, you'll choose the answer that's tied to being a servant leader. Now, depending on how you read the question and the answer choices, this might be very challenging for you. So here's my advice. You want to focus on finding the answer that best represents the ideal project manager who serves and empowers the team. Meaning, if you're following all the best practices from PMI and you're acting as a servant leader, what would you be doing to make sure that everything continues to stay on track, removing any roadblocks and helping the team perform at their very best? One more thing, if you're getting value out of this video, don't forget to smash that like button to show me your support, because it inspires me to keep creating high quality content just like this. So the third mistake that you must avoid is not spending the time to really understand the Agile framework. PMI's exam content outline explicitly tells you this on the page that half your exam represents Agile and hybrid. It will feel like Agile takes up a larger percentage of your exam. And if you have never read the Agile Practice Guide cover to cover, you're going to experience a lot of challenges solving the questions. So whether you're a complete beginner or perhaps you're a well-seasoned veteran, make sure that you understand the Agile framework so you can solve any question correctly in this domain. Otherwise, you might end up scoring below target, and we don't want that, when all you had to do was just learn more about Agile and its fundamentals. In the previous question that I just showed you, it was focused on Agile. One of the answer choices that I mentioned used a word called exploratory testing and pair programming. On your exam, you will see some Agile vocabulary that you must be familiar with. From my own experience, you don't need to sit down and memorize everything. Instead, what I recommend is to understand the concepts. So if you do see a word or a vocabulary term in the answer choice or in the background context of the question, you'll understand what you're being asked. If you're completely new to Agile and what exactly it means, then I recommend just get a hard copy version of the Agile Practice Guide. Just let me show you. It's a very, very thin book, and I'll link that in the description bar down below for you to check out. It's a very quick and easy read, and it will contain everything that you need to know about Agile and predictive. I read it cover to cover in less than a few days. While I was studying for my PMP exam, I read the Agile Practice Guide at least 2 times. And I used it to focus on certain key areas when I was struggling on solving questions or just diving deeper when I was using Pocket Prep or my PrepCast simulators. Now, if you supplement the entire Agile Practice Guide with section 2.3 from the PMBOK guide, you're going to have a very strong understanding in Agile to pass your PMP exam. Now, I can't leave you hanging, and I want to give you my bonus tip. So make sure to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Now, my bonus tip is to pace yourself on the day of your actual exam. There are a total of 180 questions, and you're given 230 minutes to solve them, which is literally close to 4 hours. So as you can tell, it's a very long exam where you're sitting in front of a computer, which means that you have a little over a minute to solve each question. Frankly, it's not a lot of time given the fact that you might get stuck, you might feel overwhelmed, and you'll probably skip a few questions and then you have to go back. So my recommendation and my advice is do yourself a favor and get practice exam simulators. They're meant to help you simulate testing conditions and get you into that habit to train your mind in taking a 4-hour-long exam. The one that I personally use and which gave me the best results is called PrepCast, which I'll link down below for you to check out. But you are free to choose whichever exam simulator that you like. One more thing, did you know that you're given 2 10-minute breaks? Your first 10-minute break appears after you complete questions 1 through 60, and then your second break will appear after you complete question 120. Do yourself a favor and take those breaks. Your body and your mind is gonna need it. The exam is long, so treat it as a marathon and not a sprint. I believe in you, and I know you're going to absolutely crush your PMP certification this year. You can do it, and I can't wait to hear your success story with how you became certified as a project management professional. To help you on your journey, please watch this video next to start practicing PMP exam practice questions, and I'll see you in the next video.